taking photos to help us learn more about these amazing creatures. Keep them coming, please.
Yeah.
Are they still with us on your side?
There's one that's kind of looks pretty deep. So I was just looking here. Where is it? Oh, I'm not sure if it's on here anymore. Before, when kind of at the beginning of summer, I don't know when I first looked at it, but there was whatever the numbers, how many hundreds of thousands. Then it was like it's say whatever 479,000 comments or something. I think it's when I first looked at it, and then last time I seen it was at like 83 or 84,000. So we were like up to thousands, right? And the majority of them would be pictures.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make an estimate in my head roughly of how many photos I thought we were getting.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. Oh my goodness.
I'd say we're absolutely in the thousands.
Hi guys.
That number, I can't see it anymore up here.
So great. This is mostly adults, I think. Have you seen a GV in this group?
No. Everybody's holding on to their hats and hunkered down in there.
Is Tiffany taking her Senior group back in?
See if that'll wake up that bear.
Oh yeah.
It's not moving.
No.
It's probably seen a few boats.
Yeah.
It knows what's going on. I know when I had those hip waders on before, I was squeaking my butt on the thing. That was my call to all belugas to come to the beluga boat. Oh, a bit of sun.
Have you noticed so we can hear, now that we have a speaker on deck, we can hear the sound that the camera makes when you put it down or maneuver it around.
It's only when I if I hold it down, then you could hear that.
Make some clicks.
So
yeah.
I always try to pick it up just a little bit, but
I wonder, do they ever react to that at all, or?
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like you can hear everything. Like even if I
Yeah.
do that, you can hear all the little nicks and stuff that you make with it. So I'm not sure how loud that would be for them under there.
Not sure.
Or if it's just because this is attached to the hydrophone.
Yeah.
And it squeaks a little bit sometimes, I guess, when I just noticed for sure with the motor when we kick it in and out of gear, they definitely pick up on that. But I think it's kind of just a warning for them. They're aware of the boats and they know the difference, I guess, between us just sitting there idling and when we're moving.
Well, that big group of adults is hanging out behind us, but they have come in to check us out a few times.
Oh yeah, we could head over that direction. This bear is still just sun tanning. So we'll go out a little bit further and yeah, there's patches of whales everywhere out here.
Yeah.
It's a bunch over there. It's a bunch out here where we were yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing that bear was standing up. When we came by, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have seen it at all.
No. Definitely wouldn't have noticed it.
It's a rough life, Karen.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
It's been stressful all summer.
Yeah, I think there are probably a lot of people in the community thinking you have a pretty sweet job.
Oh yeah.
And I would
think
agree.
Big time. Everybody that comes out, that's what they tends to be the census.
I've seen some socializing behavior in the adults out front and to starboard side. They're rolling around and you can see pectoral fins and flukes. That, just for a second there, you just saw one's nose out of the water and just
really?
sitting there.
Miniature spy hop.
Yeah, we're pretty much surrounded. We're spending a lot of time underwater though, so.
Sounds like we've been having a good signal out here the whole time, so it's really good to hear.
That is great. Nice to know you can spend more time out here and give viewers a clear view in the water.
If the water wasn't so murky, it'd make me wonder, like testing past Cockles Point, like upstream. Just if there's like weird, for whatever reason, patches that we just have to get through, because that's what's here, right? That band where once we punch through the other side, all of a sudden we got a signal again for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. But I guess if the water's murky down there,
Yeah, there's no real sense.
See much.
Probably got another half hour left.
Here we go, coming right at us.
Nice.
It's green haze.
Hello.
One right at the camera. Southern girl is saying that, yeah, they've been enjoying it out here, so that's awesome to hear. Thanks for that. And then doesn't understand my attraction to the bee cam. The Explorer has a bee cam that you could watch, and I love it. I don't know why. I just think on all it is a camera pointed at the little landing pad where the bees go into the hive, but I can just sit there and watch that forever.
That's great.
I just always liked bees.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and they all have the big tufts of pollen like on their legs or whatever, and
Yeah.
you could buy that pollen and eat it. It's supposed to be really good for you. It doesn't really taste like anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you would have loved one of my summer jobs. I studied bees with a researcher with Agriculture Canada at a research station in Nova Scotia, and we were studying solitary bee from the genus Osmia. And my job was to sit. We had a big house, so we had a bunch of holes drilled in, little tunnels for them, and we had almost like a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll, a little tube inside each of those holes. And my job was to sit and watch as they arrived with their little pollen load, and take a Q-tip and just take a little swipe, because they're really quite docile.
yeah.
And take a little sample of the pollen they were bringing in, and then put it in a little vial. And
Oh, really?
what we were doing was tracking sort of the phenology of where they were collecting their pollen from as the season went over time, because they were pretty good, actually better than honeybees at pollinating apple orchards, but we couldn't really figure out why, if they had enough food, because Osmia bees, they're also called orchard mason bees, they needed more food than the apples could provide. So they couldn't, once the apples were out, they still needed more flowers from other plants.
Yeah. They couldn't store enough away, or...
Yeah. So they basically, what they do is they pack those little paper towel tubes with pollen from different types of plants, and then lay an egg, and then that solitary bee eats through the pollen on its way out. Actually, they lay the egg first and then stuff it with pollen, so its offspring eats its way through the little paper towel tube on the way out. So it was pretty cool to see. And then once we had at the end of the season, they'd packed as much pollen as they were going to. We had all of those little paper towel tubes in a walk-in freezer setting, so the offspring went through what was like a winter and ate its way through, and we could look at the tube. You could cut the little tube open with tiny little scissors and just see, like a rainbow of colors from different pollen types.
That's cool.
And you put the pollen under a microscope, and every pollen grain has a different shape according to what plant it was from.
Yeah.
So some look like footballs, some look like maces, all
weird.
sorts of different shapes. So what we figured out from that one study was that having lupins planted around apple orchards, at least in Nova Scotia, was helping to extend that season of being able to collect pollen to pack into their little houses.
Cool.
So that was a really cool job.
Yeah, no kidding.
I used to joke that my summer job was wiping bee bums with Q-tips.
And I guess then you're teaching the farmers and stuff that they should be planting something else if they want to continue. And that's because it's beneficial for them, obviously, unless they want to be out there pollinating all their own apple trees. But
and in a lot of cases, these solitary bees are wild. It's not to say they could pollinate to the same degree as the honeybees that are being rented out to farmers, but they were pretty efficient little pollinators.
Really?
We've got a brick house in Nova Scotia that's got all sorts of little holes in it where solitary bees are nesting.
Oh, really?
And it's so cool to just sit in the backyard in the summer and just watch them come in with their little loads and pack it and leave. It's not the best for our
no kidding.
structure of our building, but...
Have you ever seen how farmers do leafcutter bees,
Yeah.
and they have I worked on like a couple summers when I was in school for a farmer, and so we'd put out all the shacks and then all the trays. So you get the trays, he keeps them in a like a refrigerator through the winter, and then you set them out and they hatch or whatever. But it's like little cocoons made out of leaves.
Yeah.
But the hives that they make for them, it's like these things that pull apart, and there's just thousands of little tiny holes like that big in there. And when you're done, you just pull the box apart and they all just break apart, and then you can empty all of the cocoons. But
Yeah.
I wondered if that would work. It's the same things for them to pack their pollen into.
Yeah. Totally.
Then it's just a sheet of like thousands of holes.
Yeah.
But they all pull apart easily, so you can get the.
Yeah. I know my grandpa. I remember my grandpa showing me them because I was always so curious about what that was out in the field.
Yeah.
And I was always really interested in insects and bees. But I haven't seen one in a while. Be kind of cool. I know we have leaf cutters nesting around our house because they leave such a perfectly circular little pattern in the leaves
Yeah.
they take to make those cocoons.
Just looking here. Got
Nice
a group
group.
kind of cruising there in front of us, though. They're not showing much interest. Just checking the GPS here.
Whoa. Are they going to encircle us
Yeah.
here?
No, they're cutting back and they're going underneath the camera now. Still can see him underneath the boat.
Nice. Sending some bubbles up here. There's a couple keeping pretty good pace with the boat on my side.
Pardon?
There's a couple keeping pretty good pace on my side. They're a little deeper, but with this clear water you can see them.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch. Oh, we're getting lots of photos in. Hey, you can go and see Cam Up Greg posted our track so far for the day. Says we're halfway to Nunavut.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think that you're in Manitoba and then Nunavut and then Manitoba.
Yeah.
Just kind of cruising around in a boat. When I've been out in the bay, it's been kind of cool.
Well, that's a big one behind us.
Yeah.
Oh, another one. I was thinking yesterday, it's just weird you grow up learning about Hudson Bay in school, right, as a little kid. And they teach you, it looks like kind of like I think it was a turkey or something that with a turkey head down at the bottom. And you just always been aware of Hudson Bay. It just seems strange that I'm bobbing around on a boat now in Hudson Bay. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally.
Never in a million years would have thought, that I'd be ended up doing this for a summer job out here. It's crazy where life will take you. That's a weird noise too, yeah. It's really faint.
Yeah.
We heard a noise like that the other day when I told you it was really foggy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell what the heck it was. We couldn't see it obviously, but it was closer. It sounded like I said one of those goats, The screaming goats or something.
Oh, okay.
It's making a really bizarre noise. That one sounded like a baby or something.
Yeah. Off in the distance. Yeah,
Still
it's like
here.
a calf.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of a cow, like
Yeah.
cattle.
I'll have to remember today to try to figure out what that fire is.
Yeah. Be interesting to know. You can still see that bear over there. It just seems to be sleeping away.
Yeah. We'll do another drive-by and see. Getting lots of photos. That people out there hollering.
Yeah. Must have been the snorkelers getting back on the boat.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about what they saw.
Yeah, usually everybody coming ashore, they're all got big smiles on their face. I think everyone's just blown away at, like, you know, we came to snorkel the whales, but man, we weren't expecting this.
Yeah. Yeah, they're freezing, but they're super happy.
Yeah.
Friends of ours, they tour the world looking at tours from the perspective of wildlife and rate the different eco tours on how good they are to wildlife. And they had come up here and just had an amazing experience. And she got in the boat and just bawled her eyes out. She said it was just so moving.
It is, like, when you really think about what, you know, we got a group of whales that are coming to visit us at the boat right now. It's such a crazy thing. Like,
Yeah.
you just try to think not just of whales or marine life, wildlife, but where else can you go in the world where you just get interaction like this, you know, if you're going to view animals?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Nothing like pays attention to you. You know, like these whales are aware of us in the boat and they look at you on the boat, like they're coming up and they're making eye contact with you. Nothing else does that.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to get an experience like that?
So cool. Yeah, and it's happening naturally, you know, like there might be others where you can interact, but they're being somehow.
Yeah. They're just coming because they want to, they're just as curious about us as we are of them.
Yeah.
Coming up on where that bear's sleeping. Still hasn't moved. Landscape's looking a little different now. The tide's going down. It's already dropped. It looks like a couple feet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a photo of a jellyfish.
Nice.
See if I can, what it looks like blown up here. No, it's tough. Oh, there it is in the corner. That's a cool one. Just right there. It's really faint, but.
Oh, cool. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to try to look up what species we have here.
Yeah, just keep forgetting. That picture is from East Ender. I think actually Chris Moskal, I think he commented on one of the, if you scroll down on the message board, you'll see him I noticed last night he was on, I think it was last night, and he just messaged and he actually commented on one of the photos what kind of jellyfish it was.
Oh, cool. That's
So
great.
he knows a little bit about that stuff. Ooh, I felt a rain driplet.
Uh-oh.
I think that's what that was. Oh, yeah. Just felt another one.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
This cloud doesn't look like too threatening though. Hopefully it just spits a little bit. Oh, got a bunch of whales. Look like they're playing around down there.
Yeah. Wonder what the bear does with the rain.
Pardon?
Well, with the rain, I wonder if the bear will get up and...
Yeah. Seek shelter. There you go. Yeah, looks like we had one right up at the camera. It looks like maybe a melon. I don't know what that picture is. I'll click on it and blow it up here. Close up of a beluga head or something. Takes up the entire screen.
Ah! Is that its eye?
I think it must just be its forehead. If I had to guess.
Little headbutt
Yeah.
from a beluga.
Looks totally different now, eh? Because we're sitting lower, like 2 feet lower.
Yeah.
So now we can't see up over those rocks into that grass.
Yeah.
Well, they turned around. Got a good belly shot again of a male. A couple of them.
Excellent. Keep them coming, guys. This is so great. Every one of those photos is just another little piece in the puzzle.
Yeah.
Figure out what these whales do and how they socialize and how they structure themselves, and then in turn how we can help them if they're in trouble.
Yeah, Heather was out earlier, like I'd mentioned before, and they did that, what was that project with the kids? There's a couple of them I think they've had out here this summer, but part of what she did with them was go through beluga photos. So they took part in the Beluga Bits project. Yeah. And it's good because then the kids, they get a chance. I mean, I think about when I was back in school, if I could do whatever project they had signed up for, or if it was Beluga Bits, I'd way rather look at pictures of beluga whales. Good way to have them, you know, engaged or get interested in animals or conservation or whatever. It can spark interest in a lot of different
Totally.
categories.
Yeah, there was a leadership camp that they had in Wapusk.
Yeah.
And I know they did Beluga Bits with that group. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like they do a few kind of things like that this year, because Brendan had a group in. We went and chatted with those kids. That was a different one. And then I've heard a few Night at the Fort. They've done that a couple times. They get to sleep over at the fort for the night. They sound like fun. They actually, I guess they had to cancel one of them the other day. The weather was crappy, getting all that rain, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing experiences, for sure. So lucky.
above us.
Yeah.
Look at that pointy beak too. We were talking about them dive bombing. I wouldn't want that thing. It seems like it's sticking to your head.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we're
Like a
just
lawn
looking at
dart.
this tern that's checking us out.
Yeah, it'd be like a lawn dart
And
coming
it
down at you.
keeps
See something.
hanging above
Oh,
us.
it's wanting to eat something out of the boat. Is that what it's looking
I
at?
think so.
What
I
could it
wonder.
possibly see in the front of the boat? Buckeye Bob just posted a headline of tourist guide fined 1,300 euros for scaring a polar bear in Norway.
Sorry, what was that?
A tourist guide was fined 1,300 euros for scaring a polar bear in Norway. So just spooking it, I guess, or mistreating them.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely should be repercussions for that kind of behavior.
I think the biggest thing about being out here with the belugas or going out and viewing the bears and stuff, it's just like the whales. I mean, they can follow us if they want, but they're free to leave at any time. We're not trying to alter their behavior or have any negative impact on them. Just kind of let them do their thing, and we happen to be in the area and lucky enough to get to view it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to be
Don't want to interfere.
chasing them around or stressing them out or
No.
spooking them or
No.
trying to scare them over closer to people so they can see it or something. I don't know. It is what it is. You're here to see nature, I guess, and
Respect it.
yeah. Well, we might have got a photo of that tern. Yeah, cruising away, the one that was snooping above us. Looking to see if we had brought lunch or not.
Yeah, maybe they're taking a page from that parasitic Jaeger.
Yeah.
The Jaeger picks on them.
Yeah. Oh well,
They'll pick on us.
I've said it a few times. I was cruising around like this, and I seen a capelin kind of flopping on its side, a little bit belly up. So I thought I'll grab it and show it to the camera since we've talked so much about capelin. And right when I reached down to pick it up, a tern shot down and snagged it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So when it comes to food, they're brave.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty quiet for whales.
Yeah. You can kind of hear them in the distance, it sounds like. Or maybe they're just whispering underneath us. There's a group there behind us, coming our way.
Excellent.
kind of making their way over. Couple more jellyfish shots. We can start a jelly bits project probably.
That's fun. Oh, here they are. Hi, fella.
Oh, there they are, hey, under the boat.
Right up to the boat. I could reach out and touch this one, but I won't, of course.
Oh, that one. Checking out the cam. Oh, we had a few of them now.
Oh, I can see the jellies.
Oh, I've seen
It's
one,
funny
yeah.
when you have the white body under you, then the jelly is between you and the whale. You can see them.
Just spotted the exact same thing, and then they just disappear again. Yeah, we got some more headed our way.
Oh, there's so many. This is great.
Wow, there's lots of jellyfish, eh? This one's rolling around looking up at me. Oh, there's quite a few down there. Move on. We can start to troll around a bit. talked to one guy that was down snorkeling, and he said there's thousands and thousands of them everywhere. And I guess you're completely covered with a wetsuit. The only thing is you might get one of the, tentacles across your mouth or something, but it doesn't sound like, I haven't heard of anybody getting that. Nope, got a visitor again. Wow, the sun out too, eh? Just shines.
Yeah.
Makes the whales really stand out.
Looks like the snorkeling boat's going closer to the bear to see if it's still there.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of whales there too.
Whew, that's a big group. Oh, they've got a calf in that group too. Was that a calf doing a somersault? What just happened there?
Caught me off guard.
Oh, here we go. Behind the boat.